Hello, welcome to Time for Underboard, tactical low-light autobattler game. The Underboard is available on Steam right now. If you guys are interested, go check out the game. The link is in the description. So with the recent 1.1 update, Rise of Summoners, they added 7 new characters, 16 new spells, 12 new ancient items, and 12 new masteries. So I've been trying to discover and unlock the items, spells, and mastery, and I've been able to get all the characters and I finally unlocked last two mastery. I haven't been able to get all the spells and ancient items yet, but I kind of want to talk about the characters and spells and items and mastery that I unlocked so far. So there's not gonna be much gameplay for this video because I'm gonna talk about this, and I'm way too tired to play another run after my last unlock. Okay, so these are the masteries that were added with the 1.1 update, Rise of Summoners. So 12 new masteries. And boy, this one, and which was this one, these two mastery was pain in the, to unlock. Oh man, I think I spent about 3 to 4 hours just to unlock these two. It was so difficult. Okay, so one thing, new mastery unlock condition, they need to nerf the condition just a bit. It's just some of them are way too difficult. So for example, exceptional chest, you need to get 9 influence item, explorations. Basically you have to get 9 influence item during your run. The problem is you get about 15 items including the boss chest. So getting 9 influence item out of 15 is very difficult unless you get very lucky. So in order to get this one, you kind of have to do lots of rerolls. So basically what you have to do is you have to start the run like this and pick the character. And then when you see the deck of card, you go for that right away. And you just hope that you get the right spell. So if I don't get the right spell, I just exit and restart the run again until I can find the spell that I need. You don't always get the deck of card on your first room, so you have to re-roll quite a bit. But this is what I have to do constantly. This is what I have to do constantly. So the spells that you are looking for is this one and this one. If you can get both on map 1, that's insanely good. So you're either looking for the star or singular focus. It's very difficult to get these stuff. You have to get very lucky. So if you find singular focus, then that's it. So this gives you 1 guaranteed influence reward option in all reward area. So every chest will have at least 1 influence item in it, and you just take that. And that's how you unlock this mastery. Otherwise, if you try to unlock in a normal way, good luck. Good luck. It's gonna be very difficult to do that. And this mastery is not even that great. It's very difficult to unlock, but it's not even great. It takes 2 mastery slots plus 50% influence reward chance in a random chest of each map. So it's not even guaranteed. So if this was like a guarantee to get the influence reward, then maybe it's kind of worth it, but 15% chance, So yeah, kind of don't like that. And this one was also kind of difficult to unlock. So my initial plan was to unlock this with a disciple, because disciple, if I turn disciple into the monk, by leveling up to level 3, you get the 9. You get no, you get 6 guaranteed counter attack. So that was my idea. The problem was that I had to let all my other characters die, so my monk can just block constantly with a counterattack, but that did not happen, so I had to change my plan. So instead of using Monk, I had to use Orphan and all other character to support the Orphan character. So get lots of shield and somehow get enough counterattack and block so my Orphan can survive the boss fight. And that's how I was able to manage to unlock this. The thing is, your counter attack chance is kept on 60%. So even if you get higher counter attack chances, that's not gonna trigger. Yeah, similar with the block. So it's just that building with counter attack and block at the same time is kind of difficult because you're kind of building your build with like several different traits with the several different colors at the same time. So it is kind of difficult, and it's not even that strong. It's not even that strong, in my opinion. It has a decent synergy, but it's just that you have to go for like a tanky, for a bit of like a counter attack, with a bit of attack damage at the same time. So it is kind of meh. So this one was very difficult to unlock for me. Oh yeah. So let's talk about the second one here. So generous card. The Master Slot 2 +1 reward option in a random deck of cards of each map. So this one is kind of okay, in my opinion. Because your Mastery can stack. So you can actually get 50% reward rarity and +1 reward option at the same time if you get lucky. So that does help quite a bit. So I kind of like this one. So, yeah, you probably want to take this. I think this is a pretty good one. It does take 2 mastery slots though, so you have to think about your build quite a bit as well. Bonfire navigation, get 6 spell in exploration. This is kind of easy to unlock actually. Yeah, so you can get 2 spells per map. So if you don't miss out the spell, then this is very easy unlock. So bonfire navigation, master slot 1. The farthest bonfire of each map start rebuild. Challenging get 9 character in exploration. So I somehow got this unlocked even though I only got 8 characters. So I think my summons counted as characters. I think that's how I unlocked that. So that was kind of strange. So if you sometimes you get 8, but sometimes you get 9 characters during your run. So yeah. If you don't miss out on the bonfire, I think you can unlock this. Gotta be honest, don't like this one. It takes 1 mastery slot, but the effect is kind of meh. Because you want to explore the map anyway, so rebuilding the bonfire is helpful, don't get me wrong, but I'd rather take a different mastery than this one. The Forge navigation, mastery slot 1, the Forge of each map style rebuilds, the same story. You want to explore the map anyway, and you wanna get to the Forge anyway, so it's helpful, but taking 1 mastery slot for this, nope. The challenge is to find the Forge in the map 3 over exploration. You want to do that anyway, so you're gonna unlock this very easily. The consuming Forge mastery slot 2, the Forge fire can consume any consumable to gain fire equal to its rarity. And get a Forge to have 9 fire, so you kind of want to save your XP a bit and just throw it into the fire. So that's another easy unlock, but you have to kind of aim for this. So this effect is pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good because sometimes you end up with the consumable that you cannot use at the end, and this allows me to use those consumable for the Forge. So it's pretty decent, but it takes 2 mastery slots. So I mean, it's not bad, but I wouldn't consider taking this over the other mastery. But it's still pretty decent. But most of the time, you will want to use all your consumable anyway. So. The enhanced efficiency mastery slot 2, the fire cost does not increase when enhancing items at a Forge. So challenge is equip 3 enhanced items to a single character in exploration. This will happen in the early, very early part of your run. Basically, what I mean by that is, if you haven't so if you are basically starting to play the Underboard for your like first time or first time or whatnot, when you don't have enough like a mastery unlocks everything, then you are probably going to unlock this one easily. Yeah, but once you realize the merging item is much better than enhancing the item, then you just never gonna enhance the item at all. So yeah, so once you realize that, you're just never gonna enhance the item. So you kind of have to specifically go for this in order to unlock this. So the difference between enhancing the item and the merging is that when you merge the item, if you have the merge masterwork, you can double the modifier of an item. So you're basically getting an extra item at the same time as reducing the number of items that you reducing like the item 2 items to single one. So your character can equip extra item by doing that. So most of the time you want to merge items instead of enhancing it if you have this mastery. If you don't have this mastery, this is kind of tempting, I know, but once you have this, you're never gonna enhance the item. So yeah, once you unlock this one, this kind of falls off because you cannot merge and enhance the item at the same time. You have to pick one. It's just that this mastery is just so good. This one really doesn't matter, in my opinion. So yeah, once you unlock this, you're just never gonna use this at all. Okay, another thing is that when you enhance the item, the stat you get is random. It is kind of based on the trait of the specific item, but it is kind of random. But this one, you know which modifier is gonna get doubled, but it's based on the 2 items that you are going to merge. So it's either A gets doubled or it's either B gets doubled. So you know which stat's gonna double for sure. But with the enhancing, it's a random stat. So yeah, I just don't see a lot of benefit with this one at all. So I think they need to change this so you get extra benefit when you enhance the item. So like double the modifier when you enhance the item, or maybe being able to enhance the item when you merge the items, or something like that. Otherwise, I just see no reason to take this at all. Okay, so restrictive insights. So challenges get a character to inflict 150 energy burn and 150 poison damage in a single combat. So this one was kind of tricky to do because you have to do 2 things at the same time. So 150 poison damage was kind of easy because of the new character, the Disciple. Because the Disciple has a poison damage built in with the skill. So with the knockback, plus 10 poison damage on attack. And because of the rush, you get increased attack speed and everything, so you attack really fast. So you can apply the poison damage really fast with this character. So so that one was kind of problematic, but it was kind of easy because of the new character. If I didn't use a Disciple, it would have been much more difficult. But in order to get the poison damage, I had to go for a contact. And with the energy burn, I had to go for the insight and extra items. So this one was kind of tricky, but once you have Disciple and some item that can add the burn damage, then you can unlock this pretty easily. But unless you have both, it's kind of difficult. So yeah, just reduce the number just a bit, please. Like 100 energy burn and 100 poison damage or something like that. So yeah, make it much easier, please. So what does it do? So it turns insight to restriction. So instead of energy charge, you get energy burn on attack, and 3 point 10 energy burn on attack. Energy burn is also inflicted as a poise damage, and then you get the energy charge back. And with the 6 point, you get more energy burn on attack and poise damage. So with the poise damage, you can like stun enemy. So this is kind of powerful, but problem is this is intelligence. So the character that you want to have this on don't really have a good attack speed. So that kind of means you want to put this on Disciple, and your other character with the intelligence will have to have this trait in order to have synergy. But the new ancient item, which one is it? This one has a crazy synergy with that. So if you can somehow get this item and have a synergy with the restriction, with the slight crit chance, because that's only gonna trigger with the crit chance, that's gonna be really fun. But it's kind of hard to build into. It's kind of hard to build into because the character that you want to have the restriction on do not have good attack speed most of the time. So it is kind of be tricky. So it's either like Archer or Disciple, I think, that you want to have this on. So this one, yeah, so I already talked about this. Yeah, get a character to deal 20 counter attack and block 20 attack in a single combat. Way too difficult to unlock, so reduce the number to like 15 or 10 even would be very nice. But it's kind of hard to build into the counter attack and block at the same time because you have to invest in so many different traits with the different colors at the same time. So you turn Grace into Providence. So instead of energy pulse chance, you get counter attack chance, and with 3 points you get extra counter attack chance, and you get +1 sure block, guaranteed block on counter attack, which is good. Plus 20% maximum counter attack chance, and you get the energy pulse chance back. So your counter attack is 60% maximum, but you can increase that by 20%, so that's gonna be 80% instead of 60. So you're more guaranteed to do the counter attack, and when you do the counter attack, you're gonna get 1 shot block. So you don't have to like build block with the Providence basically. So that's kind of interesting. But I still don't think this is that good. Because generally speaking, counter attack is kind of meh. But you only need 6 points for this, so maybe you can have this as like a sub trait for some of the like a range dealing character. Yeah, to get like a counter attack chance with the extra range and whatnot. And you get like a +1 short block, so that increases the survivability of your damage dealers. Yeah, it could be interesting, but don't know about that. I mean, it's still better than the introspection, I guess. But this gives you lots of extra energy regen. So there is an argument for this one and this one. I don't know. I think I have to try this myself, but not sure about this one. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be like a sub trait that you just want to have on your damage dealer if you can get it, basically. So lightweight accuracy. So challenge, get a character to have attack speed of 4 or greater. This one was kind of tricky, but I was able to manage to get it done. So this one will be much easier to unlock with a Pico, who can increase the attack speed with a skill. But you just stack lots of. So in order to unlock this, you want to have reflex and accuracy or slice, because slice give you same attack speed. So it's either accuracy or slice, and you want to have reflex because reflex will have extra attack speed. And with a couple of extra items on top of that, you can get the character's attack speed to 4. Yeah, so you gotta get lucky, but you definitely want to take reflex if you want to unlock this. So what does it turn into? So accuracy into feather. The same attack speed on 2 point, but on 4 point, we get +1 flurry on attack on move. The flurry duration 5 seconds, maximum stack 20. So in theory, you can get 200% attack speed and 200% movement speed. But once you get stunned, you lose all the bonus. So you don't want to get stunned. But the catch is you won't be able to deal critical attacks if you use a feather instead of accuracy. So that is a huge downside, but extra attack speed you can get with this is gonna be insane. So this is gonna be really good on the range dealer, especially officer, because the officer character relies on attack speed with the skill. So damage is multiplied by 30% attack speed. So more attack speed you have, the more damage you are going to deal with your skill, with the officer and the sheriff. So I think I want to do the build with lightweight accuracy and reflex together and just go ham with attack speed a lot. I think I want to try that sometime. The next one is Overwhelming Contact. So get a character to deal 400 points damage in a single combat. So this one's actually much easier than I thought because you get multiple disciple and they just deal tons of points damage with their skill. They have really good attack speed, so getting this was kind of easy, but you have to get like a multiple disciple and get extra points damage with the contact, to get this. I don't know, some of this number need a bit of reduction, 400, maybe reduce to like 300. Yeah, make it much easier to unlock. So this turns contact into overwhelm. So you get poise damage on attack right away instead of damage percentage damage. So you get more poise damage. And poise damage is inflicted as a trauma. So that's like a debuff. So piercing damage. So that's pretty decent. Yeah, that's pretty decent. You definitely want to have this on the disciple for sure. Yeah, this is gonna be very strong on disciple. So people want to try that. With the other character, it's kind of meh, but still not bad. Yeah, you people want to put this on the high attack speed character. Yeah, this is not bad. Yeah, people want to put this on the disciple. The next one is Towering Endurance, challenging get a character to receive 800 armor in a single combat. So it's not a shield, it's an armor. So the thing is, I get confused by this quite a bit because like, some character will have so often give you shield, but athlete gain armor. They're kind of similar thing, but it's quite different. And like some spell also give you like armor, and like some trait has a benefit with the shield. So it is kind of confusing with the armor and shield quite a bit. So in order to unlock this, you want to use either athlete or the new character, Scrapper. Yeah, so the 800 armor is quite a lot. So probably want to reduce number quite a bit. Yeah, maybe reduce like 600, 500. I'm not sure if the shield count as an armor with this unlock, but anyway, so it turns endurance to a tower. So you get more armor on wounded. So it's basically just an upgrade version of endurance. It's just like a direct upgrade. The difference is that with the tower, the armor will absorb all damage while wounded. You get the same value with the sword. So if you're gonna use endurance, you just want to take the tower because it's just direct upgrade. So calming anticipation, get a character to receive 30 suppression seconds. This might sound like a lot, but if you just get like a 1 or 2 item with a suppression, like a 10 suppression second, then you can unlock this easily. But you gotta find that item. You gotta find the item. So it turns anticipation into calm. So instead of shield, you get suppression second on 3 point, and on 5 point, you get the shield. But the shield decay stops during suppression. So that's the main difference here. Yeah, so that is the main difference. You get the same value. You get more suppression second with the calm. So if you get a couple of items that increase your suppression seconds, you can basically have almost permanent shield on your character. I still don't think this is that good though. So you're gonna lose a shield most of the time anyway. so I think instead of getting this, I think getting purity is just better. You get more shield with the purity, and you get your DK shield is gained as energy. It's also kind of nice touch because when you're going for like a tanky sort of build with the purple trait, your energy generation is kind of a problem. So this kind of helps with that and allows you to actually like use the skill more often. Yeah, so I don't know about this one. I mean, if you can generate shield fast enough, then maybe this is better, but most of the time, that's just not gonna happen, so... I mean, it's not bad, but still. So, you just gotta find the item with 10 suppression second, otherwise you have to put like 7 point into anticipation or purity, and then you have to find like one item that gives you 10 suppression second. So I think there's like item here. Which one is it? Suppression. Looking for suppression. I think like it's one of these one. This one. Yeah, plus 10 suppression second on combat start. So you gotta find either this one or the rare one. I think there's like a rare one that gives you this one's give you suppression second. So you find either one of these one, and you just merge the item. And if you get lucky, you get 20 suppression second instead of 10, and then you just get a couple of points into the trait, like at least like a 5 point. Then you can unlock this. But again, yeah, reducing the number would be nice. Like get maybe 20 seconds instead of 30, because otherwise, if you cannot find the item, you won't be able to unlock this. So being able to unlock this just by putting the point into the trait will be much better, I think. So that's all the new mastery. So most of the new mastery feels like kind of meh. I don't like this one. This one is kind of situational. This one is just bad because you have this. If I didn't have this, this is kind of tempting. But since I have this, it's never take this. The only good one out of the only good like a gray mastery is gotta be this one. And all of this other one is kind of meh. This is kind of situational. If you have in a mastery slot, this is kind of nice, but your mastery slot is limited right now. So unless they add like extra stages and you can get more mastery slot, maybe then I can take this. But unless they change that, I'm just gonna take this one and just leave the rest of the. I'm not gonna try any of these. Maybe this one if I can get extra mastery slot, but that's about it. All of this like other new mastery has some use, but it's very situational, I think. So this one is really good for disciple. This one's gonna be very good for the officer. This one is situational. Yeah, this one is also situational. It's very tricky to use this one. This one I'm just not sure about this one. If you're going for like a tanky build, this is like a direct upgrade, so I can see myself taking this. But again, tanky zone build has its limit, so yeah. But this is way much better, much better. So that's my take on the mastery. So please, nerf the unlock condition. Some of them are just way too difficult to unlock, especially this one. 9 influence item. Are you kidding me? 9 influence item. Unless you start with the spell, unless you start with this spell, that's just not gonna happen in the normal run. And it's not even that good. It's not even that good. So please rebalance the mastery, and please rebalance the unlock condition because some of them are just way too difficult. And please fix the bug. Please fix the bug. So the bug I'm talking about is that once you advance the zone, so once you get to like a second map, and you decide to quit and come back and try again, then you're gonna lose the bonuses from your masteries on the map, which is a huge deal. It used to not happen, but now it's happening. So please fix that because it's very annoying to deal with that. So let's talk about the new items and spell a bit. I haven't been able to unlock everything yet. So these are the new ones that I was able to unlock so far. So Viking Helmet, 30% crush on hit chance, 5% maximum health recovery on crush. It's really good, but you're gonna go for crush focus build in order to use this. But it's pretty decent on its own. Haunted Oracle, 10 energy burn on attack, 500% energy burn dealt as skill damage on critical attack. So if you can have some synergy with the new trait, this one, and some crit chance, then this item will be very broken. The amount of damage you can do with this is gonna be crazy. The Holy Book, plus 20 charge on combat start energy from, and the charge is multiplied by damage reduction from skill resistance. So very interesting item, especially with the tanky damage reduction, sort of like a skill resistance focus builds. So you kind of want to use this item with the purple mastery, I think. Yeah, mind. Yeah, I know they nerfed mind a bit, but still, it's pretty decent. So I don't know why they nerfed this. Yeah, they nerfed this to a ground. It used to have more skill resistance than this. Yeah, they nerfed it quite a bit too much, I think. So Broken Skull, 10% penetration with hit, plus 20% penetration with hits against wounded target. So yeah, if enemy drops below 50%, then you're gonna penetrate a bit more. So that's pretty good, especially with like a range character with higher attack speed. Gonna get a lot of benefit with this. But I kind of feel like the other one is much better. There's like other ancient item that has like a penetration, I think. Yeah, this one. I think Silver Blade is just better. I mean, if enemy gets below 50%, the fight is almost over anyway, so... Katana, this is a really good one. Plus 6 hidden second on wounded. Plus 6% critical attack multiplier while hidden. Hidden second on wounded are applied on combat start instead. So you're gonna be hidden right away when the combat start. So you default want to have this with the stealth focus build, and this is pretty good item on the butcher as well because this gives you so much critical attack multiplier. So Broken Mirror plus 6% skill power while focus, unable to lose focus, but you take more damage. So this is pretty good because you are guaranteed to have 6% skill power. It's good, but it does make your character much squishier, so you gotta be careful with this item. So that's all the ancient item I was able to unlock. I was able to discover so far. But if I want to discover the other 6, I'm not sure if this is gonna be legendary or ancient, but if I want to see what that is. Okay, so new spells. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 6 uncommon spell I was able to get. So uncommon spell, these are all passive. And these spell like a benefit from certain trait. So if you have like a 5 team charisma, you get more mana regeneration. So if you have more constitution, you get more maximum life. That's it, like you have more dex. It's very focused on certain trait. So if you can match this with the trait that you are building into, it's gonna be great. But yeah, the spell you are getting is gonna be random, so you can't really rely on this. So you gotta get lucky, basically. But if this passive spell matches your build, it's gonna be very strong. So imagine getting like a 10 strength with the topaz. You're gonna get like a 50% mana reservation, right? Plus base 25%, so there's gonna be 75% mana reservation efficiency. That's crazy strong. But you have to match your trait with the spell. So that's gonna be the tricky part. Okay, so they added like a 4 new summon spell where you can summon extra character. I wasn't able to get this one, but I know what that one is. This one summons a parrot. This one summons a cannon, and this one summons a discharger. So this one, unable to move, unable to attack, but it's going to use the skill to deal damage in attack range. So the funny thing about the summoning spell is that it does not use mana, but it only has like a 1 combat use, so you can only summon once for combat. But since this one does not use mana, you don't have to worry about the mana usage from the other spell. So that's kind of nice. And you can also level this up to like a level 3, depend on your team point. Yeah, your team trait basically. So that's kind of nice. So man, imagine if you can get like a 4 summon spell all together during your run. You can summon like a 4 extra characters on the battlefield. That's gonna be very fun, but it's gonna be very rare. That's gonna be very rare cases. Yeah, I kind of like this one. This one was kind of meh because it takes too long to use a skill. So most of the time, this just dies to the enemy. I wasn't able to try the parrot, but I was able to see the spell, but I wasn't able to take it. So let's take a look at the new spells down here. So, okay, this is not new. Okay, so this is not new. Okay, this one is new. So windmill, plus 30% skill resistance gained as shield on dodge. So if your build is based on the dodge, then this is gonna be very good. Shrine, 25% energy cost efficiency while focused, plus 30% skill power while focused. So if you can have that ancient item that does not lose a focus, that's gonna be a pretty good combo. Yeah, because you're gonna get the benefit from this all the time. Forge, 30% attack resistance gain as armor on crush, plus 30% crush on hit chance. Yeah, 30% crush on hit chance alone, I think it's worth it. Yeah, pretty good. Divination Room, gain an energy pulse on consuming a barrier. Plus 2 barriers on skill use, so you don't have to go for the purple. Okay, which one is it? It is which one is that? You don't have to go for this, to use that spell, which is kind of nice. But if you can, if you can get this one, with this spell, it's gotta be much better. It's not bad, but kind of meh, in my opinion. It's not bad, but it takes 50% mana reservation, so yeah. And one ancient spell, Forgotten Ruins. Summon a level 2 Forgotten Guardian, which is pretty huge. It takes like 4 space, but it's very powerful. It's very powerful, and you get more bonuses with the with your team trait point. So yeah, so the more team trait point that you have, the stronger your guardian is going to be. But man, pretty fun. So you cannot gain extra level with consumable, unable to have a trait, but multiplier to modifiers received from item is 100%. It has a skill that deals skill damage with a secondary effect based on the highest team attribute. So you can basically build your own guardian based on the trait you have, which is kind of fun. Yeah, very fun spell. The only downside is because this guardian is so huge, it usually dies first. It usually dies first to the enemy's attack, but that's about it. Okay, so let's talk about the new characters. So they added 7 new characters. So they added Butcher, Cultist, Disciple, Boss, Madman, Officer, and Scrapper. So no new rare characters. So you can level up the Butcher into Executioner. So with the Butcher, you can apply Bleed, and Bleed is multiplied by critical attack multiplier. So if you can get the critical attack multiplier on the Butcher or Executioner, that's gonna be great. And if you turn Butcher into Executioner, you get more Bleed, and Bleed is multiplied by critical attack multiplier, and several Bleed is dealt instantly, so you don't have to wait to Bleed to tick, which is kind of nice. Yeah, not a bad character, but it is a melee character, so you have to get some support from the other character, to use this. The thing is, because Bleed is affected by skill power and the critical attack multiplier, it is kind of hard to build into the executional focus build. So you have to set that up with the either intensity or defiance. You probably want to take the defiance instead. Yeah, because that gives you some block chance. That way, your executioner or butcher can survive much longer. And you do want to take the item with the critical attack multiplier. You don't have to crit. You just gotta get critical attack multiplier. But if you can get some critical attack on it, that's better, because you're gonna use the critical attack with the critical attack multiplier on it anyway. So yeah, if I want to try that, it's an interesting idea, but I just don't know how how this character can survive. That's the main problem, I think. So Cultist, so the 80 skill damage, damage gain penetration equal to damage reduction from highest resistance. So you kind of want to build a bit tanky with this character with the resistance. And you also have like 50% health still. So the funny thing about the cultist is that when you level cultist up to vampire, you can actually summon extra character. So that is the main difference. So you kind of want to level, if you want to use the cultist, you kind of want to level up to vampire, because now you can apply you can actually apply debuff, a tainted blood, and if you get 3 stacks on the enemy, then you can summon the ghoul. But it's kind of hard to stack 3 tainted blood on the enemy. So if you want to do that, you either have to have very fast energy regens, like a spamming sort of build, or you gotta have like a multiple vampire on your team. Otherwise, you won't be able to summon ghoul at all most of the time. And it's kind of interesting that it gets a benefit from the summoner's trait. So you have, if you have like a red trait with a vampire, you get more maximum health for summoner's constitution. If you have more blue trait with the summoner, you get more penetration with hit. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. And also, if you have more like a, if you have like a more purple trait on the vampire, you can actually target more character with the blood drain. So you kind of have like a choose between this like a 3 different trait. So do you want to get the bonuses on your summon, or do you want to get the bonuses on your spell? Not the spell. Do you want to get the bonuses on your skill? So it's kind of top call, but and at the same time, you kind of want to build tanky with this character. So, but very tough to summon extra character with the vampire unless you are going for very specific build, or if you don't get like a multiple vampire on your team, it's very hard to trigger the summon with the tainted blood. So they might want to reduce the maximum stack at least by like 2 or something, because 3 stack is just too difficult to do. So Disciple, very strong character with the knockback and rush. The poise damage on attack, the poise damage alone is pretty good, but with the rush, with the extra attack speed and movement speed, you can attack really fast with this character. So you can stun the enemy quite a bit because of this, and obviously this has really good synergy with the contact trait. It has really good synergy with the contact trait, and if you unlock the overwhelming contact, then hell yeah, much better, much better. But if I want to try the build with that, and if you level up the disciple into a monk, you gain extra knockback, and you get 6 short counterattack, so much more stronger. But the disciple itself is not bad either. Yeah, this is much better, but this, level 2 disciple is also pretty strong. So Ghost, another summoner character, so she has 2 different skill. So she will summon the shadow, and once she summons the shadow, then she's gonna start using the steel strength. The problem with this character is that when she summons the shadow, she is going to take deadly skill damage. So she's going to suffer 200 deadly skill damage, and her maximum health is 210. So once she uses her skill, you only going to have 10 health on your character. So you can easily get one shot from the like a sniper kind of enemy, and you cannot heal that back up. So you're gonna lose the maximum health. So kind of tricky character to use. You gotta make sure you put her in the back line, and you gotta make sure she has some kind of a survivability, either with the shield or armor. Otherwise, you're gonna lose her pretty easily. And also, she get the benefit from the summoner's trait. The summons get the benefit from summoner's trait, so it's either wisdom or intelligence. So very interesting. The weak is not bad, and you can also target more character with depend on your charisma. So very interesting character. The level 3 Warlock, not a whole lot of difference here. Just like a better summon. Yeah, more damage with the weak. That's about it. Yes, I just don't think the Warlock is a better upgrade here. So Madman. So Madman is going to summon Phantom. Has no skill. Benefit from intelligence or dexterity. So the thing about the Madman is that Madman can actually summon more than one character. The combat use is one, but you get more combat uses for charisma that you have. So if you get the charisma up to like a 9 point or something, you can like summon at least like a 2 or 3 phantom. So you can like a swarm enemy with a summon basically. So that's kind of nice. And your paranoia skill deals skill damage and also gives buffs to the allies. So kind of nice. Necromancer is slightly better version of that basically. So instead of phantom, it summons a skeleton. Kind of does the same thing. But instead of combat use 1, you have combat use of 2. So, and if you have more charisma, you can summon more. So you can swarm enemy with a skeleton with this character, which is kind of interesting. But your skeleton is kind of weak. Your skeleton itself is kind of weak, so. The thing about the summon is that most summons is a melee character. There are a couple of ranged character with the summon, but that's from the spell. So you will have some space issue if you go too hard on the summon. You gotta be careful about that. Because sometimes your summons can like block the path and stuff with the other like a melee character and stuff. So you gotta be careful with the. If you go too hard on the summon build, you gotta have some problem. So you gotta be careful with that. Okay, so officer. So finally, new range DPS dealer, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So with the scout and archer, you kind of want to have like a more range, because based on the skill and everything, and it's much safer for your range DPS to have extra range. So that was kind of nice. But with this character, you want to have extra attack speed. So instead of range, you kind of want to take the reflex so you can have more attack speed on the character to increase the power of your skill, which is kind of crazy. So I kind of want to try the build with the reflex and the new trait, lightweight feather. Just focus all in on the attack speed and trying to use the skill with the officer and sheriff. Yeah, this is a pretty powerful character. So we finally have another range DPS character that you can use. So that's really nice. We only used to have Scout or Pico, like a 2 character for range DPS. But finally we have third range DPS character. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Jules is range DPS, but Jules was not great range DPS, so. So technically 4. But I don't really think of her as a range DPS. She's more like a mage, ranged, like a hybrid character. Okay, so last characters, Scrapper. So target the highest maximum health ally, grant 80 armor. It's not shield. And 2 spike plating. and it's based on the resistance. So you kind of want to build this character with a bit of resistance and a bit of skill power at the same time. You do want to build this character as tanky as possible. So obviously, this character is gonna be good if you're going for like a tanky, like a zone focus build. And once you upgrade the scrapper into the blacksmith, grants more armor, more spike plating, and 5 tempered spike. The tempered spike zones are multiplied by damage reduction from highest resistance. So obviously you want to get a lot of resistance. And yeah, build it more tanky. Build it more tanky. So this is gonna target the highest maximum health ally. So if you have really good tank character with the blacksmith, and if you have enough zone, that's gonna be insane. So you definitely want to take this with the zone. Yeah, rework. You definitely need this one. You can have spike as well as a spike, rework with the scrapper or blacksmith, and with the orphan or messier or athlete or knight. That's gotta be crazy strong. But your early game is gonna be a bit of an issue. Yeah, tanky zone build has a lot of issue in the early game, but once you can get your setup going, it can work. But on sometimes you do lose against a certain enemy or bosses, so I don't really recommend going for that build, but you can do it. You can do it. So pretty good addition to the game, I think. If you want to go for like a tanky zone build, yeah, Scrapper, Blacksmith is the way to go. Okay, so that's the overview of the recent update so far. So people want to unlock, discover the rest of the items and spell. So yeah. Oh man, I think update is good. Don't get me wrong. They typically need to rebalance some of the mastery, and they typically want to reduce the unlock condition a bit. Some of them are way too difficult. People wanted to fix the bug, so I can actually reset the run and don't have to worry about the not being able to use my mastery on the map. And also because they added lots of stuff to the game, like extra characters, spells, new items, and mastery. I think it's fair for me to say that they need to add more mastery slot, and I think they need to have like a more resources for players to use for like a rerolls, or maybe instead of getting 3 options, maybe changes so we can have 4 options instead. But because one thing I noticed with the recent update is that it's much more difficult to build what you want because you added so many stuff into the game. It's much harder to get what you need because you increase the pool quite a bit. Yeah, you increase the character, spell, item pool quite a bit, so it's actually much more difficult to start with what you want, and it's definitely more difficult to get what you need for your build because of that. So hopefully they address that issue in the future, or sometime soon. I don't know, but I definitely wanted to fix the bug. That is the main thing that I wanted to fix. Yeah, so the game is very fun right now with the new characters and everything. You want to try lots of different builds and whatnot, but it's much more difficult to do the build that you want to do. That's the thing. Because you still get the same amount of resource right now. You still have the same amount of mastery slot that you can spend, so oh well. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the recent patch. So I'm way too tired to try another run because I just spent about 3 to 4 hours, to unlock the last 2 masteries. So Okay, so maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, I will try to do the runs, like focusing on like a new character with a new mastery and stuff. But until then, that is gonna be it for now. So this is Underboard, tactical roguelike auto battle game. The Underboard is available on Steam right now. If you guys into it, go check out the game. The link is in the description. And that is gonna be it for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Take care. Bye.